Join me as we make this garden plan that has 4 3x6 beds with cattle panel trellises. So let's get to it. 4 weeks before your last frost, we're going to plant onions, and onions can be planted 4 per square foot. Down here, we're going to plant snapdragons, 1 per square foot. We're going to direct seed some sweet alyssum along here. Alyssum seeds are really tiny and they can be planted 16 per square foot. We're also going to direct seed some leafy lettuce seeds, which can be planted 9 per square foot. Now, 2 weeks before your last frost, you're going to plant carrots, which can be planted 16 per square foot. When there's no more danger of frost, we're going to plant calendula, 1 per square foot, which will help bring in the beneficial insects and is also a medicinal plant. Technically, it can be planted 4 per square foot, but I found 1 per square foot works out just fine, and you don't want to overcrowd your snapdragons. We're also going to plant out a chive plant. I would just buy one from the nursery that's already grown. Chives will help deter the carrot rust fly. And we're going to put in chamomile plants. Technically, they can be planted 4 per square foot, but I'm going to suggest just putting 1. They will help bring in the beneficial insects, and they're also a medicinal plant. Now, 2 weeks after our frost date, I haven't mentioned it yet, but between these 2 beds here, there's going to be archways. So we're going to utilize those arches to grow tomatoes on them. Growing small cherry tomatoes that are indeterminate here, and large indeterminate slicing tomatoes over here. On this side of the bed here, we're going to utilize this area to plant some zinnias. And I screwed up. This is supposed to be zinnias all back here. The onions are here. So no onions here. These 2 rows are onions. Down here, we're going to plant out some marigolds. Technically, can be planted 4 per square foot, but I recommend just 1. We're going to put some nasturtiums here. Again, technically can be done 4 per square foot, but not necessary. Now for vining up on this side, we're going to put cucumber plants. Technically can be planted 2 per square foot, but I recommend that you get an F1 hybrid and just plant 1 on each corner here and let it vine up over the trellis. And then here, for attracting beneficial insects, we're going to plant a dill plant. Down here, we're going to use this area to grow like a little herb garden area. We're going to plant some oregano here. Keep in mind, oregano can spread, so keep it in check. And then here, we're going to add some thyme. And then we're going to add 3 pepper plants of any variety over here, 1 per square foot. Now, 4 weeks after our frost date, we're going to add some basil up here to help enhance the flavor of the tomato plant and also help with the tomato hornworm. Again, can be planted 4 per square foot, but I really recommend you just do 1. And we're going to also add some basil down here. Never can have too much basil, in my opinion. Now down here, we're going to add our bush beans. The warmer the soil, the faster they germinate. That's why we're waiting a little while. Those can be planted 9 per square foot. So that's 81 plants, and we have the marigolds here to help against the Mexican bean beetle. Now along this trellis, we're going to plant some pole beans. Pole beans technically can be planted 8 per square foot, but put whatever you feel is comfortable enough to go up over the trellis. Speaking of trellises, let's add them. There we go. Now you have to keep in mind with your trellises that they are going to cast shade. Now cattle panels are 4 foot wide. These beds are only 3 foot wide, so it is going to carry over on the side just a little bit. So when I planned this garden, I kept that in mind, and that's why in this back corner that's going to get the least probably of the hot sun later in the day, I have the carrots and the chamomile and the chives and the lettuce, something that can withstand a little bit of shade. And these are low plants here. That's why I have the peppers down here, because they will get some hot sun there. Oops, I forgot to tell you about the rosemary. So if you found this helpful, please let me know in the comments, and please like and follow for more content like this and much more.